It's very intimidating the first time that you're going to fly your new drone. This beginner's guide is packed with information, but make sure to watch the guide to the end because I've included a few tips along the way that I wish I knew when I first got started. You can start and stop this guide as you wish to follow along, and I also divided it into sections and included timestamps in the description below that will make it easier for you to jump to the section that you want. But before we get into the thick stuff, let's roll that intro. Welcome to another video. I'm Henrik Olsen, and if you want to get the best out of your Mavic Mini, then consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss out on my weekly tips, tests and tutorials. Before you go out for the first time, you need to go to either the Play Store or the App Store to get the DJI Fly App for your smartphone. I assume that you're going to use your smartphone to fly the Mavic Mini. Next, you're going to find the right cable that fits your type of phone. You get 3 cables with the Mavic Mini. The first one here, that is the USB-C. That is designed for the modern Android phones. You get one for micro USB, which is for older Android devices. And the last one is the Lightning connector for your iPhone. Then you're going to charge all the batteries, the remote and your phone. Because you don't want to end up in a situation when you are arriving on location where one of these are depleted. And as a side note, when you receive the drone, all the 3 drone batteries, they are depleted. So you need to charge as the first step. The whole charging process for 3 drone batteries takes around 2 hours. You can check the power level of the remote with a single tap on the power button. And these 4 LEDs, they indicate that the remote is fully charged. You can do the same on the power bank by tapping the power button once, and then you will get the status for each battery. The same technique also applies to the drone by pressing the power button, but no battery is inserted right now. All DJI devices work like that. With a single tap you get the power status. Find and insert an SD card in the drone. So just pop it in like that. In my case here I use a class 10 SD card, which should be more than sufficient because the bandwidth of the footage recorded by the Mavic Mini is around 40 megabit. I've included for your convenience a link to a suitable SD card in the description below. Getting ready to power on the Mavic Mini for the first time. Start by removing the gimbal cover. Very important step because that will cause all sorts of problems if you don't remove that. Then unfold the drone. And make a visual inspection that there's no cracks or any damages to the drone by itself. Also make sure to inspect the props to make sure that they have not been chipped or has any cracks or anything in here. So they should just look very nice and untouched. Of course, if this is the first time with the drone, there's likely not any damages to the props, but this is a really good idea to include that as a fixed part of your pre-flight routine. Also, you want to make sure that the lens is clean. There's no smudges or fingerprints on this that will show up in the final footage. Next, we're going to put in a battery. So we're going to open the hatch here in the back. And then we're gonna turn the battery so the connectors on this side matches the connectors in the top of the drone. Then we just shove it in like that. Listen for the little click. Then we close the back hatch. And now the drone is loaded with the charged battery. Let's proceed to the remote. Start by unfolding the remote brackets. Nice and wide. And then take out the sticks that are hidden here below the brackets and mount them in the remote. We're going to take the cable that matches our phone and then mount it in the micro USB connector here on the side of the remote, like that. So now basically the remote is more or less ready. You need to raise the antennas, like this. And when you're out flying, they need to be in the right position, like 45 degrees, like I have shown here. That will give you the best reception. Now the remote is ready for mounting the phone. Let me just run you through the remote so you know what to expect. The sticks, they are set up for mode 2, which means that you have throttle up down here, you have yaw left right here, you have pitch and roll here on the right side of the remote. You have the power button that will show you the power level of the remote and also power up the remote. You have the return to home button here. If you just switch it around here, you have the wheel that controls the gimbal of the drone. You have a video record start button. You have a photo snap button here. So this is basically what's on this remote, and it's pretty much the basic features that you need when you're out flying. Next, we're going to mount the phone in the remote, and then we want to power it up. I found the easiest way to do this is simply to rest the phone here and then simply plug in the cable from this side and push it into the bracket like this. You're going to power on the remote by a single tap and then a long press. And when you hear this sound, the remote is powered on. And it now starts to blink, indicating that it looks for the drone. Now we will power on the drone. We are doing this the same way. Short tap, long press. And then we put it on a flat surface. Props and gimbal will move during the initialization process. That is perfectly normal, and when you hear this sound, the drone is safely powered up. When the power LEDs on the remote turn solid, the drone and remote is connected. Launch the DJI Fly App. And if this is the first time that you're launching it, you'll be presented with some promotional material, and then you need to give permission to the app so it gets access to the photo, location, and notification. So just say yes, set on. Allow while using the app. DJI would like to send you notifications, yes. And then you need to agree to the terms of use of the app. Press agree, and then you have a lot of other stuff that you need to say yes to. You can also decide to join the DJI Product Improvement Program, and we are doing this for this demonstration. And then there is a short user guide that will show you a little bit about how you use the drone. Let's skip that for now. So this is not uncommon when you fire up the DJI Fly App that you'll be prompted with some sort of a firmware update. In this case, it's the battery that needs to be upgraded. So I highly encourage you to install these updates, because some of them will actually prevent you from taking off. And it would be a shame to get on location ready to fly and use valuable flight time on updating stuff like this. So make sure every time before you go out, just fire up the drone before you go, and make sure there's not any firmware updates that needs to be installed. For the sake of this demonstration, let me just show you how the process is. Press update, update. And then it will basically automatically take you through the process. The process is pretty streamlined, and it does everything that it needs to do. You just need to sit back and wait until it completes. Let's fast forward. Then the Mini will automatically be powered off, and you need to restart it manually. Listen to the sound. With the firmware updates out of the way and the Go Fly button blue, then you are ready to enter the main flight screen that you will be using primarily to operate the drone. If you have clear image transmission, then you're ready for the next step. Let's just run through the main flight screen here from the upper left corner and clockwise. Here you have the mode selector. You have warnings up here so that you can see there's no GPS signal. In the upper right corner you have the battery indication and the temperature of the battery, including the flight time. Here you have the menu where you can control all of the settings for the drone. You have the camera menu where you can switch between photo, video and quick shots. You have access to the library. Down here you have an option that is available for both video and photo, and that is the exposure compensation value. You can use that to adjust the exposure level of the image. Here in the lower left corner we have the height information, and we have the distance information, as well as the speeds. And we have a map that will tell us where we are. And we can just press the map, then we get like a big one. And I can switch to all the standard formats that you know for like this. So this is basically the main screen that will allow you to operate the drone. There's of course a lot more details to this than what I just went through here, but this was just the basic introduction to the interface. And maybe I forgot to mention the most obvious one, and that is of course the button that you need to press to be able to either take a picture or start a video recording. On the other side here, you have a launch button that will allow you to launch the drone. But we are inside my office, so that's not a very good idea. I have another little tip that I want to show you. So if I just back off here into the main screen, if you press this little pin, green marker in the upper left corner, then you will have access to a map. And that map will show you the DJI no-fly zones. So that's pretty handy to have it here. So you see there are the two big airports around here, or maybe there's actually three. There's the Copenhagen International Airport, and also the one in Malmö, outside Malmö, Sturup. So these are of course no-fly zones where you're not allowed to fly your drone, even if it's only 249 grams. So that's absolutely a no-go. So that's pretty handy to have that information stored directly at your fingertips. What do you think about the DJI Fly app? Is that better for casual flying than the DJI Go 4 app? Let me know in the comment below. Before we go on location, there are some important things that we need to set up before we go out. At least it's much easier to do it now than forget it when you're outside. So just press this take off with caution thingy, so you get the screen where you can read all the error messages. Below that, there are some parameters that you need to set. The first one is the return to home altitude, and we're going to put that at 30 meters. 30 meters is a good height. Remember, the drone does not have any obstacle avoidance, so if there's an obstacle on the way home, it will collide. So putting it at 30 meters and maybe even higher would be an advantage. The max altitude for at least here locally, that is 120 meters, and you need to put in the maximum altitude corresponding to the area where you fly. And I think it's 400 feet in the US, and that correlates pretty well with 120 meters. So we just leave that. The max distance of the drone, you know, you always need to keep the drone within visual line of sight, VLOS. So putting this one to 3 kilometers doesn't make much sense. So I would put that, I would assume I would be able to see it around half a kilometer out, maybe 400 meter. So I put 400 meter or 380, doesn't matter. 390 it is as the max distance. And this means that you basically do like a fence around the area where you fly, so it won't go further away than these 390 meters from the takeoff point. So that's pretty handy to have that in there. Also the SD card, there's a shortcut so you can format the SD card. So let's just do that. Make sure that you have a clean SD card when you go out, because I have tried it so many times. You have a half-filled SD card with actually stuff that you would really like to preserve, and then you're getting out on location and you start to film and you run out of space and you have no way of really making room on your SD card to do the filming that you do. So it's a good, again, it's a good pre-flight check is to make sure that your SD card is formatted and clean. And of course, if you have files on there, you should transfer them to your computer or any other safe location. Did I leave out important information, or you simply want to contribute to this guide? Then leave a comment below. In part 2, we will move outside and put our knowledge to use, from start to safe landing, including camera settings, and test out some of the flight modes. You can access part 2 once it's available through this card. Or take a look at the other videos I made about the Mavic Mini through this playlist. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then feel free to give it a like and share it with your other drone friends. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back on the next one.